then we're thinking we about to make a hit.
Calling all kings to the flow. I'm about my business, you know. Keep it 100. It's my faith in God that keeps me on the go. About my money, my love. What it needs to grow. I'm calling all kings to the flow. Calling all kings to the flow. Calling all kings to the flow. I'm about my business, you know. Keep it 100. It's my faith in God that keeps me on the go. About my money, my love. What it needs to grow. I'm calling all kings to the flow. Calling all kings to the flow.
What's happening, everybody? This is your boy, Dodie.
It's your boy Trail.
It's your boy Taylor.
Hi, Taylor. You said
Taylor. He's still at it. Welcome back to the Crown Kings podcast. Obviously, you know, this is a safe place for men and, you know, on topics and different things regarding relationships and things of that nature. So, what we got on display today, Walfield? What we talking about today, man?
On today, we got a hot topic, man. Hopefully, we had this discussion about a month ago about the foundation of manhood and masculinity, and I figure we go back to the good book and we'll just work it out from there. You feel me?
Right.
So what it is God is assigned godly. Woo! I see how hype I am. It's an assignment for men, the foundation for us as men. Our purpose is to lead, to protect, to provide, not only from a physical standpoint, but also from a spiritual standpoint. We talked about dominion and the stability that God gave us as men, and also to be, or to cover our spouses and our families in prayer. Mm-hmm. So, according to biblical manhood, we should pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, steadfastness, gentleness, and also provision. So, that being said, there are 6 overall topics. We're going to start this thing off with Mark, and we're going to, since he's the baby of the group, and we're going to flow accordingly, okay? So, Bible says that all things be done in love. And one of the questions that came from a viewer was, how do we as men show love? What does it mean to show love? And then we'll drive on from there.
Say something.
Can you put that in a sentence? No. Now, it was, how do you show love?
How do we as men show love?
I mean,
you could even start with what is love to you, and then how do you show love?
What does love really mean, Mark?
What does it really mean?
I never really thought about it. No, but love is, showing somebody your true feelings. That one person that you can actually open up to and show your love to them, taking care of them, taking care of their needs, just being there to help grow as a person, a shoulder to cry on. I mean, love gets deep, but the main thing to me is just that person that can help you grow, that helps you grow as a person, as a man, as a woman, whatever, But that's what love means to me.
So with that being said, what are for the viewers, what are some of the ways that we as men can show love to where it doesn't have to be assumed, but it can be, I like that, it can be felt. Well, that's good. It can be felt.
It can be felt. I mean, of course, the number one way is actually knowing your partner's love language. Once you find out that love language, that opens up the door, and then it's a broad world out there to show your love. Once you figure that out, I mean, if your partner's love language is physical touch, I mean,
Touch her.
you got
Put hands up.
You know, if your partner's love language is words of affection, I mean, you once you figure out their love language, I think that's where it opens up to you to show your love to your partner.
Flow. The boy said, show your love.
Show your love.
All right, Sambo. So in that, another thing that came up, and we didn't do like a census or anything, but I just, when people come to me, I bring it to the table. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So for one of our viewers, the question was, is it more important for you as a man to show, is it emotional or is it physical in a sense of how you give love? Is it more important for the emotional aspect or the physical aspect of love?
So I feel like, I mean, I would say emotional more so because, I mean, females are more of the emotional creatures. They tend to, you know, move off emotions. So obviously that would be kind of a big thing to do, or like if we're given those two choices, of course, I would say emotion would probably be first and foremost. And then, you know, as that becomes more validated, then you move into whatever the physical is, you know, following that. But I would definitely say emotion would probably be first, though.
Women do, you know, we talked about this in the last episode. Women have emotions, and men have emotions.
Emotions.
But I think, I like what both of y'all said. I think another thing that gets overlooked sometimes is the fact that sometimes showing love can be, it is a lot of times for us men, the sacrificial side of love and what that means to us, and being, again, like we talked about earlier, that provider, that protector. Sometimes, all the time, we have to make sacrifices as men. Yeah. Boy, I say every night I have to fight to show my love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's on a daily basis. The Bible said we have to die to ourselves in order to prove that love, not only to our spouses, but even to those that we have been chosen to be a steward over, whether that's kids or whether that's intermediate family or whatnot. Yeah. And also to show, Mark talked about that generosity, that compassion. When we had the last episode, we talked about, you know, men having somewhat of a soft side, that not making you be a punk, but you have to show love, you know?
Ain't none in my blood, you know, but
yeah. But I mean, I like the fact, again, that we start with the foundation, because we really want, we're learning alongside each of you, and we're trying to grow and do it the right way.
Yeah, that is definitely a disclaimer. We are not professionals.
we're not perfect.
We are in the same fight. We're in the same battle as you are. So the only difference is we're wanting to talk about it, you know, in hopes of learning something, in hopes of gaining and growing. Absolutely. So I definitely want to put that out there, because I definitely don't know it all. At all. I'll be the first to,
hey,
you know.
I'm telling you this now. I'm learning as I go.
Yeah, literally. You know.
These assignments. Yeah. By the way, make sure that when y'all are viewing this, that you put your questions or concerns in the chat. If it's something that you need or you're dealing with and you don't have an outlet and you don't have somebody that you can go to, please give us an opportunity to seek.
Let us know.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So next on the list, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, boys and girls, is godliness. And godliness, one of the forms of godliness is said to be humble and to seek God on behalf of your family and to show yourself to be moral, courageous, and strong. All right, the doors of the church is open. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk.
What does it mean for us as men to show humbleness? Don't y'all go at the same time.
I wanna ask a question about that. You brought up morals. Sam, what is your morals? Like, what are the main morals of your life?
So, I mean, Okay. If I had to kind of put it into like things or like,
Just anything, like, you know.
give me an example because I need
So-
to be able to give you the right answer. I don't know.
One of my biggest is, you know, is honesty. Don't lie to me.
Okay.
That's one that I live by.
Okay.
I mean, you know, so
I would say that would be a good one. I mean, nobody likes to be lied to because then at that point you slowly chip away at that whole trust thing, period, you know, because one little lie can, you know, you never know what's going to be the truth going from there. So I would say that's definitely a good one or a big one. Honesty, you know, trustworthiness. Obviously, more so being a person of your word, man or woman. Like if you tell me you're going to do something,
do it.
then, you know, I'm expecting that because you said it. I have no reason to think that you're lying or you're being dishonest. So if you tell me you're going to be here at 2 o'clock, I'm looking for you to be here at 2 o'clock. Now, again, obviously we all have things that go on. We have stuff that happens that is unbeknownst to us, that happens that we can't change or, you know what I mean? But the intent of what you said is what I'm expecting. So obviously if I say 2 o'clock, you get here at 2:50. Okay, so what happened? I just, you know, I was on my way. Just like, well, 2:50. So I mean, that's just, you know,
is different than on my way.
exactly. You know what I mean? Like you was at home laid up. Like you wasn't
even thinking about it.
You wasn't in the car. You went in the tub, and then you just, you know. I'm just saying. So, you know, I would say definitely that's one of the things. You know, obviously be a person of your word. You know, being truthful. Which again, I think we all, you know, kind of slowly teeter with that sometimes. But again, I think that's just life. You know, to where sometimes I feel like even when people say white lies that necessarily don't hurt people, even though it's still considered a lie. Like if it was something that a white lie you gave and then Jesus came, like would you go to hell for it? You know what I mean? Like just it's a white lie, Jesus.
Yeah, I think he'll still send you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, so it's
I mean,
you know, I think
a lie is a lie.
yeah, you know what I mean? But I think, you know, obviously being honest is, you know, definitely probably one of the biggest things in terms of, you know, having morals and, you know, being a person of your word, man or woman. You know, definitely having integrity and, you know, some self-worth of yourself. You know what I mean? Like I think that's, you know, and even more so, you know, with that self-worth, being confident in that self-worth. You know what I mean? Like you know what you will and will not stand for. You know what's you know
right and wrong.
exactly. You know what I mean? So obviously you're not going to put yourself in that situation to be, you know, mistreated or, you know, being made to feel as if you're less than because you know who you are. You know what you stand for. You know what you've been taught. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, those are probably part of the top three.
Okay.
Being a person of your word, being honest, and having integrity.
Okay.
You know.
Man, that integrity is deep. I think too. I mean, sometimes we get stuck because how can I say this? I believe with intentionality, we want to all. We strive to do the right things. I say that.
Of course.
I mean, as from being from a kid, from the time we said when I was a child, I thought as a child. Now that I'm a man, that depends too. But when we was kids, we lied to keep from getting whooping.
Yeah,
we lied.
of course.
You know what I mean? You know,
I didn't do that. Kid did that.
You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, like you said, it's a lot. So when you talk about morals and you talk about growth from that point to this point, and even from today to the next day, we're talking about again intentionality. What is my goal, my end goal?
Yeah.
But when I give you my word, or when I say this is what I'm going to do, or this is my plan to do that, my intentions when I'm telling you obviously are genuine.
Yeah.
Because I mean I want to do right by you, especially if I love you, especially if we're building a relationship or we're in a growth stage. The other thing is that from a moral point of view, as men or as women, we should be again intentional about doing the right thing, even when nobody's expecting anything from us. You know, we should do that for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My morals, me giving you a certain boundary, I should have that boundary
Know your
already.
boundaries. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It should be the same thing. Humbleness, even in that regard, it says, one part of it is true. The other part is, again, me doing the right thing, whether you watching me or not.
Yeah.
The other thing is, a big thing is having the accountability when I say I'm going to do something and I falter as a human being, as a man, as a leader. When I make a mistake, whether it's on accident or on purpose, I still have to stand on the fact that this is what I told you I was going to do. I can't control everything, but I have to take ownership of the fact that it didn't get done at the time that I said it was going to get done, in the shape, form, and fashion that I said it was going to get done, and I have to own that. Please give me an opportunity to fix it, but in all things, get clarification, get understanding.
It's biblical, damn.
And that is, you read it.
Don't ask me where it is. I know it's in there. Though. I know it's in there.
But that's another part of that question, and I'm glad you said that. Is it takes courage to be able to take ownership of your mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the main. It's one of the main things that make up a man is being able. If I mess up, I expect Trevor or Dodie to call me out, and I'll be like, well, yeah. That did happen. I messed up.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling me out on that. You know what? I'm gonna try to fix it.
Yeah.
So I have a question on that then. So what if, obviously let's just say your wife says something to that effect. Or let's take it a step further. You're in a debate. I'm not gonna call it an argument. You're in a debate. And the verbiage comes up to say you never or you don't acknowledge your wrongdoing, yet you combat with, oh, but you did.
That's good.
And we on air. We in this camera right here. I am guilty of that. I'm not perfect, and it's so weird that I guess I do it to a fault to where I don't even recognize it until I go back and process it. Like, you know what? I probably could have. Yeah, I probably should have. It's out there now. The feeling is felt, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna go back. But it's like my processing time is not immediate.
True.
So I think, given that scenario, like, what do you do in that scenario? Considering.
And I give myself time too, because I'm guilty of that as well. I'm quick to be like, yeah, but you also do it. But then again, that's where that accountability comes in.
Of course.
I go back and process and be like, dang, she was right. And it's a part of being, as human beings, we're being defensive in that moment.
Yeah.
So it's not about, hearing what I did wrong, but yet it's about, hey, you do it too.
Yeah.
You ain't perfect too.
You just screwed up.
You're not about to, sit this all on me and put the burden on me about
put me in the corner like I'm gonna do you.
So I'm gonna get back at you because you also do it too. But no. I think you do have to take that time to process and be like, yeah, she is right. She called me out on it. Let me go and own up to it. That goes back to me taking accountability and being like, hey, you know what? I did do that. I do apologize for that. Let me get a chance to correct it. And let's move on forward from this point on. Instead of harboring on it, not talking about it. And that goes into a whole nother thing about harboring, and that starts to, mess with you a little bit because it's sitting there and now it becomes tit for tat.
Yeah, literally.
And it keeps going. Like,
almost
when
to
you
the point
have
I don't know what we were arguing on to begin with. Like, we done brought up things 10 years ago.
Hey, remember when you didn't know? We're not talking about that, man. But we never got a chance to talk about it, so,
And I think that's also one of the things, too, because I'm not a huge talker. So I feel like it's almost kind of worse for people that don't talk a lot.
Yeah.
Which may sound weird, but I'm being honest. Obviously, my wife. She's more the verbal person in the couple. But
My twin.
yeah, but I feel like, it's almost kind of like me not talking
Mm-hmm.
is almost either, I don't want to say assuming guilt, but how do I want to put it? Me not talking almost kind of makes it seem as if it's true versus me,
Yeah.
you know, and again, I think that kind of goes with just my delay in processing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it's, you know, to me, I feel like it's a strength, but I think when you're going or debating, I won't say going against or arguing, but when you're debating with someone that is, you know,
Yeah.
like spitfire.
Rapid fire
You know,
gets you
like-
the win
like,
in
oh, okay,
debate.
okay,
So,
all right.
yeah.
I'm gonna come back to those two. Don't worry about it, you know. So I think that's that's the thing too, to where I think, you know, as you evolve and, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously we've been together 22 years now. I'm still growing. I ain't a little kid, but I ain't, you know, I'm growing. You know what I mean? Like, it's an everyday evolution. It's ongoing. You know what I mean? Like a teacher said yesterday, like, you're never too old to, even the oldest man,
Never
you know what I
too
mean,
old to learn.
has something to learn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that's just, you know, but even just that alone, just being able to, you know, really and truly mull it over, think about it, process, like, you know what, okay, I see your point.
I see it.
I see your point. And maybe me not bringing up or saying no, but you was not the best thing to do, because it literally only fueled the fire. Because now it's like you're going in the backpack for stuff. Now, okay, bam, okay, you know.
Remember when you did?
Exactly. It's like that wasn't even what we're talking about. That's, you know. So it's just a point of being, you know, grown up enough to say, you know, hey, you know what, you were right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind being wrong. I don't like necessarily verbalize and say that,
Yeah.
but when you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I mean?
You're wrong.
So
That's a big deal, though. I mean, we talked about accountability. We talked about even just listening. And again, I think it was Mark that said, sometimes we listen to respond, or we listening to hear, or to understand.
To understand.
So that go both ways. But I know as the leader, we indirectly are still teaching people how to treat us. And then we have to also, as men, understand that women, especially the women that we love, they know the trigger points.
They know it.
wow, boy, and
More
be
than
James Brown
anybody.
tap dancing. Woo!
Yeah. But
Watch me.
again, you can control the narrative by sometimes, I mean, and being quiet sometimes is a good thing, because again, once the words come out, once you
take 'em
say
back.
it, you can't
Yeah.
take it back.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on the fact that we got to process it, and it is easy to do the tit for tat.
Yeah.
But we're talking about growth.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have acknowledged it, the fact that we as men have the capability to acknowledge and take ownership of it, now that we've taken that ownership, we can grow.
Yeah.
Which again, that don't mean she's gonna always be right, but the way that I respond will in turn facilitate how the rest of this process.
Exactly. Like it could be something as simple to just completely neutralize it.
Yeah.
You know, just saying, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Which is sometimes
Now
that's
what?
it. Well,
What you want to eat now?
You
Like,
want to be
that-
smart. You want to be smart. You want to be smart.
You? Which again, I think it's how you say it.
It's how
you know?
you say it.
Because obviously you could definitely be. Oh, you know what? You right.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah.
always wrong. And, you know, but you know, being able to come to it, you know, just saying, you know what? You right.
Yeah.
You right.
We call
see
it
it.
being a bigger person.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's sometimes the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
I don't want to be the bigger person. I want to be the baby. You know what I mean?
I want to be on that same level you want.
Put me in a round. I don't want to be right. Like I want to be, you know. But I think again,
Sing a song.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
but I feel like, you know, obviously, given that it is at some point in time, you have to, especially if it's something that's a continuous thing, you have to kind of evolve and know, okay, obviously, I know what to do to neutralize it.
Mhm.
Just do that, and you know what I mean. If it's about, you know, being right or getting stripes or, you know, getting a I told you so in, that'll come. Because, you know, there'll be other situations like, you know what, you were right on that, babe.
Yeah.
High five, you know, I got one, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Give me
it's,
some points.
yeah, you know what I mean? So it's you don't have to win everything. I think that's the moral of the story. You don't have to win everything, but it's not the amount of wins, it's the type of wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the ones that really count.
And then too, you got to remember that we're a team. You're not in competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not in competition.
I think one of the hottest topics right now is Deion Sanders and his Colorado Buffaloes.
Yeah.
But even he was talking about how when they practice against each other, the severity of the practice is to get you ready for the true game.
Yes.
Of course.
It's us against the world. It's
Yeah.
not me against you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We together.
Yeah.
So your win is my win. Really.
Yeah.
If I'm getting better, you see, you did win.
Yeah.
But
I guess-
won.
I think it's one thing to know it here, whether it's to verbalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That helped us. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And in turn, will help someone else. You know,
Yeah.
because it could be the same situation.
Dog, it done been times I know me and my wife. It ain't necessarily even got to be a heated, as you say, debate.
Yeah.
But I be laughing on the inside like I want to tell her she right, but
I can't let her have it right now.
if I tell her she right today,
Yeah.
all of this just goes.
Oh yeah. You know, I was right the whole time. And everything. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it comes down to that humbling yourself because you got to remember too that your wife is your helpmate.
Yeah.
She will see things in you that you won't see. She is there
Yeah.
to make you better.
My God.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know everything,
No.
and really, as crazy as it sounds, if they don't tell us, we just keep on.
We keep
Yeah.
on that
You
curve.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then worst case, somebody outside says it, and it's like, oh.
Now I got to cut you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's how you feel.
You coming at me,
Yeah.
bro.
You know,
Now I got
You know,
to cut
ain't no need for that, brother. You gotta be that way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it's one thing to, definitely be a little bit more attentive and listen to, just what it is. Because, I don't feel like anything is necessarily being said to hurt. Obviously, we could take it a certain way to where we feel as if it was hurting. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's all for growth.
Yeah.
Growth is the main thing, and I feel like in any situation like that, regardless of what you go through, there's a growing in it.
Yeah.
Within it, there's something that comes out of it. So
When has chastisement ever feel good though?
ever, never.
Remember your mom used to tear your behind up and say, "I'm doing it because I love you."
Like,
Yeah.
how can you
Pay
possibly?
more than
Yeah.
hurt you?
How
Yeah.
can you possibly love me,
Yeah.
bro? Like, that's
I'm whooping your butt now so the police don't have to.
Well, maybe
Took
they
my
won't be as
whole soul
severe.
out of my
Like that.
chest, mama.
I'm over here in the corner and my soul is in the bathroom. Like that. And I didn't even do it. That was Willie now.
Real talk.
So,
But that's deep. But I think again that's the whole point in coming together. Because just like you had that situation in your house, I had that situation. Every man has had that.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely not.
Some men are a little more mild about their response, and some are not.
Oh,
So on today, from the Crown King, you heard it here first. You listening to
listen.
get the understanding, not to respond, not to react, not to go to war with your teammate. It is not tit for tat.
Yeah.
I'm talking to me too. I'm gonna go back
I'm listening
I'm going
too.
to-
I got this ear right here.
Yeah.
Like, it's on
because
fire right now.
It's important. It's important. All right. So which brings me to my next point. Gentleness. How we as men, as individuals, show how much we care. Consideration in the other person's point, idea, feelings. And then also actively encouraging our partners to get to the next level. Ooh.
Okay.
Any minute might have more. Gentleness. What does it mean to show your spouse that you care? How are you considerate in their feelings and their emotions and the things that they're striving to do? With that being said, how do we show kindness? And what things can we do to actively encourage our spouse? You can take that on any way or any shape, form, or fashion you want. So let's get.
How do I show my gentleness? I think that
Yeah, you're a big boy. Please tell us.
Rougher.
Tell us.
Rougher.
if we go that route, I do find myself trying to bogart. I'm like, nah. I gotta show some soft touch, But now, if we get to the real, I try to encourage my wife with anything, like as far as if she has an idea for a business, go ahead. You know, if I got to pick up and it goes back to, picking up extra slack, if it's going to take, some time away from this that we do together, by all means, go ahead, because I know she would do it for me.
Of course.
So whether that's a business venture, if it's, if she needs time off to get her mental back together, I always try to, what I wasn't doing, and she brought it to my attention, she kind of caught me not validating her feelings. So I had to go back, check myself, and I was like, man, I really wasn't showing no feelings to, what she was going through. Like, it was a point in time where she was crying out for, her job was, stressing her out. And as a man, it's just like, yeah, I'm stressed out all the time at my job. Like,
Welcome.
So it's just like, man, get to work, do what you got to do. But then, she was like, nah, you really not hearing me. So I had to turn on that gentle side and was like, oh, that's what you mean, the tears started flowing for me to, don't get like, don't let it get to the tears flowing for you to understand that she do need that gentle side of you to be like, to understand and be like, oh yeah, okay, let's talk this out. Turn on that gentle side. Be that shoulder to cry on for. Another man will be that shoulder if you don't.
And I feel like that's again, like we were saying on the previous episode, that's one of the, the hardest things sometimes to do because like we're trained or programmed to be the exact opposite. Which is so weird now that I think about it, because 9 times out of 10, half of the people that were kind of, pouring that into you didn't even have nobody.
Yep.
They're by themselves. They done ran off every woman they ever loved with this just bravado, just always hard. And never, kind of just, mellowing out and, being soft and gentle. But I do agree that, it is
hard, don't you, nephew?
Yeah, literally. You know what I mean? You ain't whore. So I feel like it's definitely a point of, definitely being a little bit more gentle and at least, like you said, definitely turn on the listening ear.
Turn it on.
You know what I mean? And being able to kind of understand or even more so decipher what she's saying without directly saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it could be, what you're hearing is, oh, I hate my job. And the undertone of that could be, I'm really wanting to venture out and do something different, or, maybe it's time for me to kind of, pivot and do something totally different. But, you have to kind of listen for the, for the underlying stuff, and I feel like that, definitely helps to be gentle, not to mention being the biggest cheerleader. You know what I mean? If there's something you want to do, like if you want to go race dune buggies, that's what you want to do. I got 5 on the dune buggy. Like I'm, let's get it done. You know what I mean? Whatever it's gonna take to, 1, keep your mental in state.
Yeah.
2, to make you happy. Because I feel like nobody should do anything or be doing anything that they don't at least halfway enjoy and can say that they feel some type of joy in. So it's like, if that's the case, let's get you to that place to where you can definitely go and come and be safe and happy. You know what I mean? Being happy, I think, is, a lot of times, people kind of put on the back burner because there's so much other stuff going on. But I feel like being happy, like life is just, but life is going to go on whether you're happy or not.
Yeah.
So why not take that time for yourself and, strive for that? You know what I mean? But I feel like being gentle is definitely, not as some people may teach, but
it's a big part of it.
Definitely. And I can truthfully say, that at least in my household I grew up, I tell my mom this all the time, that I got the loving, the caring, the nurturing part from her. And then from my dad, I got just to go out and work. Work from him. But then the nurturing, the loving, telling my kids I love them, give them a kiss on the forehead, hug them. I got it from her. You know what I mean? And I feel like, at the time I didn't know what it was, but I feel like it was a decent balance because it kind of made me the whole person. But even still, you know, there's things that I can even learn and grow outside of that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
That's good, man. I think I agree with both of y'all. I think the what happens indirectly is that we be with them so much and we've been together so long that we treat them like the homie.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You come to me
true.
like, man, I'm like, boy, hush.
Yeah.
That is
It's
very
raining
true.
outside. You ain't worked outside in 6 months. What's different? You know what I'm saying? And so,
Hey, you hit it on the head with that
you
one.
know what I'm saying? And then the other thing too is we have to be careful because even as men, those same validations, those same wants, those same needs, those same fact, I want you to be my biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
All those things are things that we ask,
yeah,
but we don't.
We
We
don't,
Yeah.
give
we
it.
don't give it.
Because again, we too busy being we caught up in this world. I'm the one got to go do it, and I'm the one got to go do it, and I'm the one. And it's like, bro, it's my teammate though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So even though I'm the quarterback, if she ain't over here in her position, playing her role, whatever that is in your household, then it's not gonna work. Period. You know what I'm saying?
And the team going
The
there.
team a loss is a loss.
Yeah,
A W is a W. But the other thing is, and I'm glad you brought that up about your mom and your dad, because it brought back a memory. When I was a kid, I used to see my grandfather and my grandmother would get into it, man. And as a kid, it was funny, because I'm like, these old people in here fighting about it, you know what I'm saying? But there was a lesson in it. My grandfather used to go outside, and my grandmother would get to clowning and tripping. And I knew my grandmother loved him. Trust me, I know he did everything that we talking about here, that at least that I saw.
yeah,
And but when she get mad, she get her feelings, you know, and her emotions, and she be in this state. He would walk outside. He ain't argue. He ain't call out her name. He ain't put his hands on her. None of that. He go outside literally and sit back in the chair, cross his leg, and move his feet back and forth. I'm like, man. So me being messy as a kid, I'm like, hey man, you know, Big Mama talking to you, you know. She said your name. I know she was talking to you.
Poking the
And
bear.
you know what I'm saying? And he was like, just calm down. She ain't going nowhere. It's cool. I'm like, well, she talking to you though, but she, you know, she called your name. And he literally closed the door. And he said, young man, if it's something you don't want to hear, move your ears. I said, wait a minute. He said, it ain't that I'm not trying to understand what she's saying. It's not that I'm not validating her feelings. I don't want to say nothing that I don't mean, and I don't want to yell. You know, I told y'all before, 2 people talking, nobody listening. So he would literally go outside, let her calm herself down. He said, now when she be quiet, I will be talking again. You know what I mean? Because now we can have a conversation
Yeah.
about whatever it is that's bothering you without it being a yelling and screaming match and me against you. Me saying something out of turn or you saying something that you ain't gonna mean that's gonna escalate.
no,
So I think for me, that was a good example of being gentle. He was loving her even in the midst of,
Mhm.
let me tell you about yourself right
Yeah.
quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been gone for 60 hours. I've been here with all 90 kids. You ain't well, wait a minute. I did my part. Now, if there is an issue with that particular component, then you need to ask me so I can call an audible and do something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I think the way he showed his love, the kindness that he showed, even in the midst of being, you know, the restraint, just the overall picture of what that meant was an example for me before I was even married.
yeah,
Now, here I am, he dead and gone, she passed, but I'm looking at that now that I done got old, and I'm like, well, shoot, he was teaching me then for such a time as this.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny,
No.
but I was literally in class
yeah.
at that time of my life. I'm sitting there telling, I'm sure, probably my kids don't do that to me. Hey man, your mama in there talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
She going in.
You know what I mean? But that showed me, again, it showed what it meant to have that restraint. It showed me what it meant to be gentle. It showed me what it meant to show kindness in the midst of turmoil. It showed me what it meant to love unconditionally, because it's so easy when somebody's putting a hammer to your head and somebody telling you what all you have not done, and they haven't validated your feelings, and they haven't been your biggest cheerleader, so you think, or it hasn't been openly distributed, I guess maybe that's the word. Or just the fact that you didn't hear what they said to somebody else. Maybe somebody, just because I'm your biggest fan don't mean that I'm in here doing this. I could be, on the background saying, shoot, listen, man, I know you got a record label. My husband do this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? From man to man, it may be better if it comes from you, but I just want you to give my opportunity. That's still my support.
That's
very true.
A win is a win.
It's still a W. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is some learning. I mean, you bringing up some memories, but at the same token, man, I think those things are important. Because it has to be reciprocated. The very things, I talked about this on the Walbury Project. I was talking about how people ask for something that they're not willing to give.
Very true.
And man, you talk about having to sit back and take inventory. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on, cuz.
My list is long.
You talking to you know that, don't you? Just like with this message, like it has to hit us just as well as it has to hit y'all. So, man, anyway, I done got fired up on that. Thank y'all for the insight. Hopefully that helped somebody. Again, that's why it's important that we get some feedback in the comment. Also, you can send your comment to the page or to the, whatever you need to do. Whatever's convenient for you. There's no such thing as a bad question. There's no such thing as bad insight. And we also want that feedback. So again, that we can be better at our assignment. You know what I'm saying? All right. The next topic on today that came up was about faithfulness. Faithfulness. Are you true to your duty, reliable, dependable, trustworthy, and loyal? Wow.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, all of that.
I'm loyal to the T.
Said.
Hey, who in my circle is in my circle, and I'm loyal to you. Even friends, family members. It goes back to my morals. If you do something that I don't agree with, I'm still loyal to you to a point to where I'm clapping you over here, but you just can't eat at my table. I'm that loyal, Hey, I'm never gonna down nobody, But if we get back to that point of, I'm loyal to a cut for my wife. I mean, I won't talk bad about her behind her back. I might poke a little fun and be like, oh yeah, she did this and this and this, but I'm never like just down and up like, yeah, man, she tripping. Like, nah.
And even with that, like you have to be careful even with that because you never know who is literally in the back. Kind of like, okay, so he said this. And then they go and play this whole role, and it's like, okay, now she gone because you literally gave me the whole playbook.
You gave me the ammo.
I appreciate that, boy. We real happy now. So
just a little tweak.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna change the I to a T, and that's she all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do feel like definitely in that regard, to that same point. I would definitely say I'm loyal to a fault as well. I don't think that I've ever, not that I know of at least, said anything outside of, obviously when we do have, different debates or whatever the case may be.
I love that.
Because I don't want to make it seem like, everything is argument.
I see where you're going.
Granted, it'll definitely, voices do become raised. I don't want to lie about that. But it's still my thoughts and opinions versus yours. So I'd rather call it a debate than argument because, sometimes we meet in the middle. Sometimes we just have to, okay, let's agree to disagree and let it be that. You know what I mean? But a lot of times if we're into it, then it's just that. I don't feel like I have to necessarily go out and, obtain any type of feedback. Now, there will be times where like, do you think I was wrong? But to that necessarily badmouth her, no. Because I feel like that's,
not at all.
that's just not how we play. I feel like that's, she's mine, and whatever is mine is just that, mine. I'm not gonna give you or anybody else for that matter ammunition to say,
okay, so he didn't like this. He said this about her. So let me go back and say
the opposite of these.
Listen.
So it's like, nah.
Well, you gotta know as an individual. I mean, that everybody ain't on your team.
No, like this.
They say all skin folk ain't kin
That's
folk.
just the truth. Man, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Somebody hoping and wishing and praying right now.
Man,
Somebody.
They done saw your picture on Facebook, Instagram, and they sure look happy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they really happy.
Yeah.
let's see what I can get on
Yeah.
out
And
of
that's
it.
it.
Nah,
Yeah.
all my debates go in house. If I don't like something that she do, I go to her and say, hey, I don't like this. Let's see what we can do to fix this. Let's talk about this. Let's rectify this, and let's push forward and get to it from this day on.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna go tell somebody else. I'm hey man, I didn't like the way she did this, and and it's just like you said, it's just they sitting there taking notes, and it's just like nah.
Got almost gleaming there. Oh really? Oh.
Checkmate. Or
Got
to use it against you too.
Yeah. Oh man, see
that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah,
But
get you killed out
I think too, again, man, when we're in the same locker room, I keep going back to the team aspect because that's
it's a team. It's a team.
We're a team. It don't do me no good to talk about whether offense played good or whether defense played good, because at the end of the day, we either win.
We win as a team, or we lose as a team.
I don't even like to say lose, but learn. But same token, we did it together. Okay, you put on the same uniform I did.
Yeah.
We stay under the same roof, the same lights. And like Dodie said, you belong to me. God gave you to me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I another part of that question was what in not only in your loyalty, what makes you reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. That was part 2 of that same situation. And you can take a deep breath, because I see your heart pounding and everything. All right, come on.
I feel like, that kind of goes back to just being a person of your word, having integrity. You know what I mean? If I tell you I'm going to do something, and this is, in support of you or being your cheerleader, that's something that I'm going to do, regardless. I'm doing it because I love you. I want you to win. I want to support you in whichever way I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that it literally all kind of ties into everything. You know what I mean? Just being a person of your word, man. Don't tell me something and then you do something different.
True. My wife always asks me, how are you? Like if I tell somebody it's an event, I can be dead tired. It can be 30 minutes left in this event. I'm still gonna show up.
Yeah.
It's
that's
just
another episode too.
It's just a part of me, man. Because we go back, and when I hear you talk about integrity, my name is my brand.
Yeah.
And if I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there for you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be like, yeah, he told me he was gonna come and he lied to me.
Yeah.
He didn't show up at all. If I tell you, hey man, I'm gonna be at your event, I don't care if it's 3 people that RSVP to it, I'm gonna be one of them, one of the 3 people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show my support to you. And I mean, it's just me as a person.
Yeah,
it's just me.
I feel like my wife also suffers from that do-gooder, as my daddy would say. But I do feel like, especially and that's she's loyal in that regard to a fault. Like if I verbalized and said I'm gonna see you there, yeah, we going.
Yeah, we going.
Yeah.
Like we going.
I can be dead tired. I could have just worked, 23 hours out of a 24-hour day, and I'm gonna find a way to get there for you.
So it's like
because I told you I was gonna be there for you.
Even if I told you that we both were coming, and I didn't. You didn't tell me that we both were coming. But it's but we said because it's like we RSVP for 2.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about it.
Oh, but she told you.
Yeah.
Even though
So,
she didn't tell you.
Exactly. Man, I'm like, okay, so I guess we going then, right?
Yeah.
We going. So okay, this.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a part of faithfulness, though. It still comes back to being true to your word.
Yeah.
Like Mark said.
Yeah.
Also, a part of being faithful is putting others before yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, God did it for us, where He gave His only begotten Son, make sure we had what we need. You know, when He died, you ain't know that's going to the cross.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but again, that's shows reliability, because I ain't gonna lie, I put on some events, and the whole time I'm thinking, shoot, this joker really go, sure. But because of that feeling, to Mark's point, when I tell somebody I'm coming, that's why I'm real slow to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I tell you I'm coming and you 4 hours away and I don't get up to 5, I may not come to the benediction, but I'm coming.
I'm
Yeah.
coming.
You know,
Yeah.
and my wife would tell me that, Trev, you're gonna be late, you're gonna kill yourself. But baby, I told them
I told her.
that I was gonna be there. If I got to go to 4 events in the same day, I'm gonna stay 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. This the last one. I hope they got some food, and I'll see y'all when you come back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just the way it is. Because I expect that same level when it comes to anything that I'm doing.
Okay, so in that regard, then I'm gonna throw a small hook in the game.
Let's see.
So
What did his face in there?
in that same vein, as your example, you told this person you're gonna show up to the event, and you know, rain, sleet, snow, broken bones, you showed up.
Yeah.
Now it's their turn to pour into you. It's their turn to support you.
Yeah.
As you did them.
Yeah.
Rain, sleet, snow, broken bones, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Not only do they not show up, even though they told you they were going to show up, they don't show up. They don't say anything about it. Act almost as if they never knew about it. And then, you know, what do you say to that? Do you then still continue to show that hardcore avid support because that's what God would do? Or do we, you know, okay, so with you, I have to kind of break that off or not do as much because clearly you don't support me as I support you.
But you did put God in.
I did.
So since you put God in.
But they may not know God. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you do.
Yeah, but I
So-
was gonna
so-
say
so-
that you do.
So here it is. Since you put God in it, and it would be the right thing to do anyway. Now, God don't treat us as our sins deserve. He never leave us. He never forsake us. No matter how many times we say, Jesus, I'm gonna change. God, this time I'm coming to church. Lord, you know, if you just get me out of this, I know I told her I'm gonna change, you know, and He still allowed. So I think this again, the same grace that we ask for, we have to be willing to give it. Now there will be people that will abuse your generosity. There will be people who abuse your love. There will be people who abuse your loyalty. There will be people who abuse your kindness and take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
Now, for me, you have to have discernment as if they are intentionally dragging you along in that regard, or if this really is a character flaw within them.
Yeah.
The next level would be, is God sent this person to me to be a mentor, a coach, or adversary in that regard to help get them to the next level? Because I've seen it in different ways where some of those same people will use you to get to the next level, and then, you know,
They
fall
done
off.
with you,
Now, I've been through it enough time where it don't affect me as much, or it don't affect me because I know what God gave me, my specific assignment. However, I would be lying to you if I told you it didn't hurt, or if it didn't cause frustration, or if it didn't make me want to choke, then you know what I do.
Yeah.
But because that would hinder my growth, and that would hinder what God is opening doors for me, I have to be mindful in those cases to say, okay, they may not be ready right now, but today ain't your day, but I'm going to give you this little rope. Can't give you the key to the castle, but I'm going to give you this rope. Now with this rope, you can hang yourself It's gonna be on your own accord.
Yeah.
You can hang yourself, but you can cut it to where you just gonna fall off eventually.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe that what God has for me is for me, and if those people are not meant to be on that journey, on that assignment, whether it's at this time or at this time, then they kind of do it to themselves.
Well, yeah.
You know, the pruning process sometimes ain't always easy and it ain't always fair, but the people who really are not, or they're intentionally and not for you, I mean, eventually they gonna fall off anyway.
Yeah.
Now he gave you the God.
I was gonna say something like
He gave you the God.
because I'm conflicted now.
I'm still on the same page as him, but I'm gonna tell you like this: if you do that to me, if you do it one too many times, I have no hard feelings against you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reposition you.
Of course.
Now, if I still give you my word, going back to what I said, that's still me. I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna extend it, but then again, I don't care at this point if you do show up or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your expectancy.
Yeah, it is dropped. Like
I see what
now
you're
I
saying.
know you as a person,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
you know, and then I still hold no grudges against you. Then my invitation stop if you keep doing it.
Of course.
I've repositioned you to the bottom of the list because I see you not gonna help me grow as well.
Yeah.
You're just using me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how I am.
So if it's only 20 seats, if you the 21st, you can't go.
You can't come. You know, I mean you can't come,
You can't
and that's
Yeah.
just on me. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's two aspects to that. You know, you got that
That's true.
Red
left shoulder
red
and
and
that
white,
right
baby.
shoulder. Which one you want to pick? Because I can go both ways. I'm never gonna bad talk you though. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, he just didn't get this invitation this time. Sorry, maybe the next one.
But then you do know those will be the main ones that'll be highly offended and upset
Well,
that they didn't get their.
But
then there's
I
a
gave you the
conversation
rope.
to be had.
I gave you the rope, though.
So it's like, how you not going to invite me? I thought we were friends, but you didn't show up to like none of these other ones,
But I gave you the rope.
and I
Yeah,
invited you.
there you go.
You know, so it's like,
You know,
I don't know, like y'all pray for me.
I invited you to 19.
Yeah.
You got word of mouth of that 20,
Yeah.
that 21st.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It go back to, but I gave you the rope.
Yeah.
If I gave you the rope, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Again, you can cut it, you can hit it. Well, that I gave you the rope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know we got to go, but this is the last one, and it's kind of funny it led into this. So steadfastness is what Mark is talking about, and that was the final one. And it's funny because the title that came beyond it was "Be Watchful." It's all about it being a protector and a provider, but it says to be steadfast in your belief, in your efforts, in your godly plan, and even in your refusal. Steadfast. Because of your godly given assignment means that as a man you have to be firm and you have to be direct on purpose. So you wouldn't be wrong in the idea of okay, you ain't gonna be able to come.
Yeah.
Because again, I've given you several opportunities to prove yourself.
Listen, I've got some family members I don't extend the invitation. You've lied to me 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And like we found out you were lying. And it wasn't even like you said, you know, you said nothing to me, but then again you went to another family member and said, yeah, I was doing this at this time.
Yeah. I never forgot.
Yeah.
See, that's why we can't be lying.
You know, and your stories just start not matching up. It's like, all right, okay, cool. But yeah, with my steadfastness, if I say no, I'm leaving it at no.
Yeah.
If I say yes, of course, you know, life goes on within that yes. Even though I did say yes, you know, some things might happen to where my yes turns into a maybe. But
Yeah.
I am gonna let you know, like, hey,
Well, yeah.
this came up. I might be a little bit late, or you know, I might make it, I might not make it. Anything in that aspect, if I say no, it means no.
Yeah.
There's no maybe to my no.
My no.
You know, so
And my yes means yes.
so you gotta put your foot down sometimes, and you know what they say. If you what is the saying? Dang, the whole forget it. I
Sound
can't
like it's a good
remember.
one, too.
Yeah.
I was waiting on it too. I was like, I'm gonna take this one with me.
Yeah.
Stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you
Oh,
fall for
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
That is the best thing right there. I
That's
mean,
true.
you know, so that helps me in my steadfastness because, you know, people can lead you one way
On purpose.
On purpose. Once I see it, I say no.
Yeah. Well, hey, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff, gentlemen. It was good stuff.
Good
Good
stuff.
stuff. So that's what I'm talking about, man. That's why y'all need to tune in, man. So y'all can get these nuggets, man. You know, that's all we do is give nuggets, man. All the time, man. Y'all gotta be out here, man. You know?
Be steadfast in your viewing.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know. Say be sure to check us out on YouTube, obviously, but it'll be on the website, www.crownalliance.org. You can also catch us obviously on the not YouTube, but Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We out here, man.
We out.
You know what I mean? Be sure to support the team,
Crown King.
and we'll see y'all out there.
You dig?
Peace.
Deuces.
Love.
Love you, mama.
Yes.